Hello and welcome back to the channel, Scriptcase by Jamie, me. Well, today I have another one of those foundation videos for you to make sure that when you start to create your project, even if it's not in Scriptcase, that you plan ahead, okay? No matter what project you do, you tend to calculate some of those costs. You will want to have an idea of how long it takes. You will pre-plan some of those tables and data that you want to collect, maintain, synchronize, use, whatever it is that you want to do with that data. And of course, any other project always requires a sound foundation. And it's important that your project in Scriptcase also has that, okay? Otherwise, of course, again, it's like a sinking ship. And what happens to sinking ships? They sink. And what happens to the people on those sinking ship? Well, they tend to drown, okay? And that's what we need to think, is that if you do not have a good foundation for your project in the first place, then there may be issues moving forward as you go along later on in the future when you come to make adjustments, changes, or additions, and so forth. You may be pulling your hair out thinking, why didn't I plan ahead? Okay, because ideally when you create your project, you don't just want to think of I want A, B, C. You want to think of Z. Include Z. Always include Z. Okay, always include X, Y, Z. I know they're the last three characters, but you want to include all of them. Okay, you don't want to just stop there. You want to include everything that you want to do. And then keep that for a later time. If you want to start off small, build the big picture and then remove all of the elements you do not require. Just make sure that the big picture works and then create the small picture, okay? Because otherwise you'll create a small picture, another small picture, another small picture, and then essentially at some point it will become a puzzle if it doesn't become a puzzle straight away, okay? And you really do not want that. So ideally, you plan ahead, create your database, create your structures, create your processes, have an idea, a good idea, and not just an idea, a very good idea of what you want, what data you are going to capture, where it's going to go to, and how you are going to handle it. Okay, so today, of course, I have my SQL workbench up in front of us, and I have here actually the database for the SketchWow project or processes that I had showed you previously. Now, thank you to the client because he has, of course, allowed me to share some of this content or use the content basically. And of course, there's no data here, there's no information. So you're not even seeing who it is or, you know, anything else like that. And it's just in general to also help anyone else that planning in general will help a great deal. Okay. Now, in some cases, you can go ahead and just start off your project very simple and keep building, keep building, keep building. And in many cases, it will work. Okay. But when you come to large projects, then really you want to plan ahead and have some of at least half of what you want down on paper. Okay. So in this case, I have here a diagram. Now, in this diagram, we have quite a few tables, and I've kind of partitioned it so that it looks a little nicer. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Okay, so here we have then, for instance, the company management tables. Okay, we have here a shared table, which is then the notes table. So this is then shared between companies and clients and, you know, the other areas that we have, admin as well, of course. And then we have here some original QuickBooks tables. So the original project is based on QuickBooks, and some of the data within QuickBooks, we're unable to edit it unless it's within the QuickBooks environment. And of course, we want to replicate some of those, place them into our own tables, and then use that data, add that data, and basically work with that data within our own project or / platform. So in this case, we have then here the client tables, which are then taken here from our original QuickBooks tables. Now we have here then the shared notes, the company tables, which are then separate. So if you can remember, or if you didn't watch the previous video, do check it out, because there you'll see actually the processes that are happening within this platform, within this project. So within the company area, we actually store a company. We have then company contacts, and then we have here an access table, which are actually the clients that we have over here that then this company can access. And then we have here some company cards, which I really don't remember what they were for. Okay, so here we have below the portal tables, and these are then all of the tables related to the actual platform. So we have here some email templates that we can apply. We have then here a list of portal contacts. So the admin wants basically their own contacts list, separated, ideally separated, of course, from the companies here, which then, of course, well, it just makes more sense because these are then only for the owner, and these will then be available to many people. So here the portal notice for notifications on the platform. We have then here an email log, some portal logs. We have one portal log or two. You can have, of course, within Scriptcase, you can have multiple. We have here then a portal settings table and then an access table. So within the access table, again, here we add then here our client access. So that uses then multiple tables and then sets that up and grants then multiple users from a company access to the platform. Okay, so these are then basically, as you see, not all of the fields are included here. Some of these tables are actually missing the fields, and there are, of course, many of them, especially in these QuickBooks tables. Some of these have like 40, 50 fields in there, which is just pretty crazy. And from that, maybe you only need 5 or 6 or 10. You need to work that out, of course, and ideally have that added into these tables so it's, of course, ready to go. And otherwise, of course, it's part of the plan that you would do. Now, I created this some time ago and actually provided it to the client as an example. And of course, now we have the platform nearly up and running. Well, it's nearly finished. So anyway, so from this, I hope you get an idea. It is very important to, plan these out, collect the data that you want, and have all of these in there, and maybe even organized so that it's easier for you to understand, as I have done here with the colored areas and so on, what belongs with what in this sort of project. In many other projects, of course, you would have no need to add this sort of segmentation or separation I have applied here. And in those cases, you just don't bother with that. You just would not bother with doing that at all. You just would not bother doing that at all. So you can actually just go ahead and just place out the tables and align them as well as associate them. Okay, apply those references in the correct places and so forth. And then, of course, from there, you can go ahead and start creating your project. So I hope that has helped you in some shape or form. And if it has, please hit the like button, subscribe if you like, if you like watching these sort of videos. And otherwise, hit the thumbs down. I'm also good with that. Everything's good today. Every day, should I say, actually. So, okay, if you like that, well, let me know. If you want more content on MySQL Workbench, again, just let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to create some more demonstrations or examples and how you can also create your tables and so forth. Or maybe at some point, we'll just even come to that anyway. Okay, so I think that is it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the content and stay safe, stay well, and until the next video.